Hi, everyone, and welcome to the PYA Crew Spotlight. My name is Ria. I am your host, and I'm very pleased to welcome Captain David Horn. How are you?
Very good, Ria. Just enjoying Palma right now with a great weather and good season coming up actually. So really
Great. Well,
looking
yeah.
forward.
Last year was a little bit of a lost season for the Mediterranean, but this year it seems things are really heating up. Um, I wanted to ask you, sort of the whole idea is to talk about what got you into the industry.
Right.
Where were you born? Where were you raised? And how did yachting even become part of your life?
Well, it actually was it's following the track of my father really. My father was in the Royal Air Force on the SU rescue boats in Gibraltar based, and he was always involved on boats. He then after being based in Gibraltar, he then moved to yachting and became a captain on a yacht. From there, he sailed all around the world on sailing boats, won a couple of rosé as well, racing. And then my brother got involved in yachting at an early age of about 16. And then naturally, myself got involved in yachting as well at about 16 when I became crew, and just loved it. But it was a natural process because we lived on boats actually in Gibraltar as the whole family in our own boat, and then it was a natural process to go on to yachting. It wasn't something new, so it was sort of something just to follow up. And from there, when I was 16, I became crew, and by I was 18, I was already skippering a 26 meter, and we were then cruising up in the Baltic Sea, doing Norway, Denmark, Russia, and all the northern hemisphere. And then that was my first boat, which gave me a great opportunity to as a training boat. Really, I was very young, and the owner of that yacht was the owner of a Needling Line, which was a big shipping company with ships over 500 passengers and stuff. And he was a very nice man, which basically took me really as a son on his boat. So we had a great, fantastic relationship. Um, so he basically gave me a great opportunity, which I think is probably the most difficult thing to do, is to get into the yachting world and become your first step to be a captain. A lot of people are ready to be captains and stuff, but it's hard to give, for anybody to give you that opportunity to go as captain on your first boat. It's always a risk that the owner has to take. Luckily, I was taken, and then, like I said, I just start cruising from there. I was very scared of my first boat, especially on the engineering side, because I had no idea about engineering whatsoever. And on a 26-meter boat, you're sort of the engineer, captain, and everything, waiter, whatever you have to do. So yeah, then I started doing courses of engineering and stuff, and obviously by practice and lots of mistakes and errors, you become to be a very good engineer after a while. So that's that's how I ended up on yachting, and now I've been like 27 years skipping now. So happy, very happy.
What do
Yeah.
you feel are the benefits of yachting? When it comes to, other careers such as, the traditional careers that a lot of parents sort of, you need to go to university, you need to go to college, you need to get this education. What are the benefits of yachting, do you think, over and above any other career?
Well, Ria, to me, yachting has given me freedom, um, in the sense that I'm not tied up to a 9 to 6 job in an office. Um, when we have work, we're working 24/7. But then you do have that freedom after wherever you're based to be able to explore the country you're in, to meet new people, and to meet the same people you met in different places, which is always very nice. It's like feeling home a little bit. And yeah, it's given me freedom, in the sense I don't have a timetable. I'm not, I'm not I'm not accounted for that timetable. I just work on the basis that the job is done, and I just don't think I could fit in an office, to be honest. That's just the thing. I love being in the engine room, and I love being in the bridge and skipping the boat and enjoying my crew and the guests. I really do have a good time. But you have to love it. I mean, I know people that you have to you you have to be good for the job. I know there's people that would never be able to do that and they would hate it. And then other people love it. So yes, there are benefits, and then there are bad things as well. Obviously, when you have families and stuff, you're going to be away, and you're not going to see your family for some time. But then you need to have a good uh, family, you know, a good family that understands that and backs you up. And they say that distance makes the heart fonder. So they're always happy to see me. It's funny because they don't see me enough.
They love you more as a result.
Yeah, I think so. I think if they saw me on a daily basis, they would they would be probably telling me to go out to sea again. So, so
Well, let
yeah,
me
that,
ask
that's
you, let me ask you, as far as those that are looking at yachting as a career, you have made it to, of course, captain. You've been a captain of some of the larger boats, some of the super yachts, mega yachts, etc. What type of advice would you give those that are trying to get into the industry right now in order to reach their career goals?
I would say that it's not a question of trying to get into the bigger boats if they're trying to get experience, because on bigger boats everybody has a determined, a fixed duty to do. So basically, if you're going to be cleaning windows, you're going to be cleaning windows for the whole summer. You're not going to be doing anything else, unless you have a competent captain that can, sort of move around the circle and get everybody to do a little bit of everything. But I have the experience that normally on smaller yachts, people get on to put their hands on everything. So they can be on in the kitchen, they can be on deck, they can be in the engine room, they can be everywhere. Now that is hard work, but it gives you a lot of experience. And you might get less money, but you're going to have a lot of experience after to do everything and come up. A lot of people have this idea of going to a super big mega yacht, and they're just going to go up and go up. And I really don't think that's the answer, because my experience is when I've had vessels over 50 meters, you're going to get the crew for a certain position, and you move the crew around, but they're never going to really be in the engine room with the engineer or in the kitchen with their chef, or that experience is lost. They're going to be on deck doing that precise work duty. So sometimes smaller is bigger.
That's interesting because when a lot of crew come on, they do sort of take a look at the larger boats, but reality is you are right. You get onto the smaller boats, you're doing every single job, you're seeing every single job, you're at least
Yeah,
touching on
yeah,
most things.
yeah,
And so when you do go to apply for a bigger boat, you've got the experience that they're asking for. If they say
yeah,
we're looking for a stew, well, you've got that experience. If they're looking for a stew deck, well, you've got that experience. So
yeah,
definitely the place to start is a smaller boat where you get the
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah.
It's
And it
good
makes
advice.
completely sense. It makes completely sense to start from the small. Um, I've seen also people who have gone on bigger ones and then get all their classifications and courses and COCs and everything. And to be honest, they go up and they're very good on the bridge, but then they're quite useless in other points of the boat. So to have a general picture of a vessel, I think, is to be able to understand when the chef is taking out 30 plates and burning his hands, and the stewardesses are running up and down on 3 decks or 4 decks. Um, to be able to understand their job, to be able to give them orders, understanding what they have to do and the work that is put into that. If you haven't seen it, then you haven't tasted it yourself, I think it's hard to give an order to somebody.
That's good
Yeah,
advice. It's good advice. Captain, I understand that you are on board today. So I do want to say thank you very much for your time. It's really appreciated.
no problem. Always welcome. Always
Once
welcome.
again, you've been listening to Captain David Horn. This is the PYA Crew Spotlight. My name is Ria. I have been your host. We'll see you again next week.